Good afternoon. My grandpa once told me, if you're going to do a public speech, make sure you start with a funny. That way, if anyone's sleeping, the laughter will wake them up. A farmer's young son was returning from the market with a crate of chickens his father had entrusted to him, when all at once the box fell and broke open. Chickens scurried off in all different directions. But the determined boy walked all over the neighborhood, scooping up the wayward birds and returning them to his repaired cart. Hoping he had found them all, the boy reluctantly returned home, expecting the wrath from Dad. "Pa, the chickens got loose, but I managed to find 12 of them." "Well, that's not bad, considering you left with 7. I would like to extend to everyone here a warm welcome to the University of Guelph Ridgetown campus. All the friends, family, relatives, faculty, and guests of honor. I know that many of you have traveled quite a ways to be here today. Perhaps some may finally understand why there's a little grumbling on Sunday night, complaining about the drive all the way to Ridgetown. I would like to thank everyone for being here, as well as letting me speak on behalf of the graduates, or rather, for taking the risk I won't screw this one up. Everyone is here today because they decided to come to Ridgetown campus or reach Huron in Clinton for one reason or another. Many of us came for very different reasons. We could pretend we all came for the sole purpose of higher education, but that was only for some of us. Some came just to get away from Mom and Dad for a few years, while some came to make new friends, and some others came to find someone to bring home to Mom and Dad. But for whatever the reason, we all started this journey with high hopes and expectations. I think it's safe to say that all those dreams have been fulfilled. All the hard work that we've put into our time here has really paid off. We made it. No matter what anybody says, we all graduated post-secondary education, and for that, congratulations are in order. As we celebrate, we also need to congratulate the many people that helped get us here, starting with the parents. The worry of college is over, but trust me, worry will always be around with this gang of misfits. We would also like to thank our parents with all the help, mentally, emotionally, and perhaps a little financially along the way. All the support has helped us get us here. Congratulations to the friends back home. You made it too. No longer do you have to listen to our never-ending stories of how awesome Ridgetown is, or how you should come down sometime, or how big of a mistake you made not coming here. Also, congratulations to the instructors. You survived. You taught us all well, even through the answering of the same question 10 times over in the same lecture, through the complaining of how hard we really have it here, or do you think I could get that extension? Most of all, you don't have to listen to Boyd Cooper, among others, yelling from the back row. We thank you immensely for your time and expertise. There's one thank you, though, that often gets overlooked. Thank you to our roommates. Not only did you put up with our weird habits, our excessive snoring, our roaming around at 3 a.m., but most importantly, you kicked our butt out of bed at 8 in the morning after pub to make that Friday morning test in Dr. Dave's plant science class. Ridgetown campus has given us many memories to keep and reflect on, most of which we won't soon forget. Well, some of these memories after pub are a little foggy. Nevertheless, these memories will stay with us forever. One that stands out for me is my discussion about sorghum with a fellow classmate of mine. Sorghum is a grain crop grown for consumption in warm climates. But as I had little knowledge or experience with such a crop, I asked my friend, "What is sorghum?" His response, and I quote, "It's like corn, only completely different." I must admit, this wasn't quite the answer I was looking for, and much teasing ensued, even months after, for what seemed to be a ridiculous answer. But as I came home to farm and thought about this further, I realized that this pretty much sums up Ridgetown campus pretty well. Not to say that school is like corn by any means, but if every other college or university is like corn, then Ridgetown campus is like the sorghum. We are like all the others, only completely different. We have classrooms, but ours are in the greenhouses, fields, riding arenas, up in trees, in the dog kennels, and in the barns. We have our teachers, only ours are our friends, mentors, and business advisors. We have student parking lots. However, ours are filled with mud tires, lift kits, and diesel exhaust. Some colleges frown on skipping classes for events such as the farm show. Here, Phil McEwen will hunt you down if you don't go. We have roommates and neighbors, only ours are like family and they will last a lifetime. And yes, just like other colleges, we even have our share of drama. Only our drama is over who gets to walk the cutest dog next week, who gets to climb the tree this afternoon, who gets to feed the newborn calf, or who gets to train their favorite horse. And in some very special circumstances, even the proper procedure to shift an international 2+2 out of first gear. All in all, our time here has been fun and well worth it. But beyond all the goofing around and socializing, we did actually learn a thing or two, believe it or not. This was due to the exceptional teaching staff here at Ridgetown campus and at Reach Huron. They took the time to teach every student until they understood completely. This is easier said than done. It is hard to go through college here at Ridgetown campus or Reach Huron without growing fond of the teaching staff and instructors here. I know I sure have. We will never forget Mr. Young, or as we know him here, Skippy, and his regular heavy consumption of Coke Zero. His constant habit of running into his own table in the middle of the room, or on his great confusion on how to run his iPad. But if you weren't too distracted by all this hyped up energy, you sure could learn a lot about dirt. No, wait, soil. You could always count on Dr. Dave's plant science classes to be interesting, no matter how tired you were. There always seemed to be time for a plant board meeting, single-handedly acted out by Dr. Dave himself to help us all understand what really goes on inside a bean plant. Bill Litwin's business class was, well, a little dry at sometimes. Sorry, Bill. But it wasn't the lecture material that kept us coming back, but rather the knowledge that Bill could communicate to his students as if they were no less than equals. He taught in such a profound way that he became many of the students' favorite teachers. Miss Cunningham's computer class was something completely new for many of us. Sometimes growing up on a farm, computers are the last thing you want to learn about. But her patience, simple wit, and gentle sarcasm made everything easier. Professor Rob Reed, along with the help from Norm, Dave, George, and Amber, made chores in the barns run smoothly. They made us feel like we were doing our assigned jobs just perfectly, even though we were sure we were screwing them up somehow, and big time. And Phil McEwen, Oh, Phil. Your dairy, beef, and livestock classes were interesting. You definitely kept us on our toes. And I'm going to be straight with you, fellas. We definitely aren't going to forget that fellow anytime soon. Now, I could go poking fun at all the teachers here, but I could be here a long time. Needless to say, we have learned so much from the teaching staff here at Ridgetown campus, and we won't soon forget it. Okay, so we may have already forgotten a bunch of it. But the knowledge we gained from each and every class will stick with us as we go throughout our lives and into our careers. I would also like to thank a few others. On behalf of the graduates here, a big thank you to the cafeteria staff. That freshman 15 wouldn't have been possible without you. To the administration team for keeping our pocketbooks in order. To the red staff for keeping us, or trying to keep us, from getting into too much trouble. Not a big fan of those parking tickets, though. To our janitorial staff, to some of you, it may seem we were raised in a barn. And to student council and our student president, Justin Bell, all of you bent over backwards to keep all of us happy, despite your constant barrage of emails. Without these groups of people, this place wouldn't be where it is today. Not only did we have fun in class, but also in our extracurricular activities. There was the OPAC Winter Games, in which all the campuses under the University of Guelph met at the main campus in Guelph to compete in several athletic events. We really did well at this and showed the other campuses that we are a force to be reckoned with. Spring Expo was a student-run showcase, where for one weekend we displayed the campus through a livestock showing competition. Many long hours were spent getting the pigs, sheep, and the beef and dairy cattle ready for presentation. Many students pulled together to make the weekend a great success. There was also our Movember auction to raise money for prostate cancer, as well as a Valentine's Day auction to raise funds for Spring Expo. Both were fun, and we raised a lot of money for great causes. As well, there were a few times when we participated in less supervised forms of extracurricular activities. Side road tours, Timmy's runs, and perhaps even a trip or two down to the Arlington, our local hotel establishment, for a few coffees. As I look back on our time here, my greatest outlook has been that over our duration of schooling, this graduating class has always been one to accept opportunity. And if opportunity was not presented to us, we would invite or make our own, often dropping whatever we were doing to participate or try something new. We always strive to go out of our comfort zone, willing to take that little extra risk. And as we leave here today, I hope, as graduates, we continue to take these risks, continue to accept opportunity into our lives whenever possible, and try these new things we may be a little wary about. It makes us innovators, prosperous, and at the very least, it will leave us with a good story to tell. I hope that everyone here can take what they learned from Ridgetown campus and keep it close by. Use it when you can. Not only the things we learned in the classrooms, but the conversations with the teachers in the hallways, the lessons our peers taught us, and the lessons we learned all on our own. So go on into what they call the real world, and don't wait for life beyond Ridgetown to happen. Make it happen. Congratulations, graduates.